Hi, my name is Tate, and welcome to my group's project of Zero Hunger at USF. Our group is focused around number 2 of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. What is goal number 2, you ask? Well, goal number 2 is zero hunger. According to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, goal 2 is about creating a world free of hunger by 2030. The global issues of hunger and food insecurity have shown an alarming increase since 2015, a trend exacerbated by a combination of factors including the pandemic, conflict, climate change, and deepening inequalities. By 2022, approximately 735 million people, or 9.2% of the world's population, found themselves in a state of chronic hunger, a staggering rise compared to 2019. This data underscores the severity of the situation, revealing a growing crisis. What you'll see throughout this project is a beginning, a middle, and the end. In the beginning, we had an initial project and an initial design idea, a middle with two hurricanes of Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton hitting, and then the final part of where our team ended at the end with our final goals and donating the food to Feedable. We hope you take this documentary to heart and learn something from this. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope you enjoy. All right, first meeting of the semester, y'all. So, as we talked in class earlier, a lot of us we came up with goal 2 on the United Nations sustainable goals, which is the zero hunger goals. So I actually work with a lot of local communities, as we talked about earlier, and I was able to reach out with them. I do have a couple of meetings kind of set up with them about we're trying to run a couple of different food drives at a couple of different events. I'll be able to get those dates kind of later down the line, but we are looking at one of the ones being opening day, which will be at Sparkman Wharf. And then the other one will be actually the opening home game, which will be at the arena. We'll work with a separate organization, and then we will work with them alongside with the Tampa Bay Lightning as well. So I know a lot of quick information there. I know that was very quickly spelled out. Does anybody have any questions about that right now?
Do you know if we have any specific dates lined up yet, or if this is still just an idea?
So we do have two of the ones are set in stone. Let me get you those dates right now, actually. The two dates that we have are, bear with me. The two dates that we have are October 11th and October 12th. They're back-to-back days. It's a Friday and a Saturday. So the October 11th one will be at Sparkman. The October 12th one will be at Amalie Arena. So they're both downtown. They're both within our local community. But from there, it'll be kind of, the October 11th date will be, kind of an offsite thing. Like we'll be working more with the Lightning, and then the October 12th one will be working more with the local community group.
All right.
So, all right. So with that being said, I know we're kind of working on a lot of other things. So once we get through that, we'll kind of have more information later. As you know, during our semester, the city of Tampa Bay, along with the state of Florida and the southeast United States, were hit with two major hurricanes. A Category 4 hurricane made landfall in the Big Bend area on Florida on September 26, 2024, causing significant damage and leading to the evacuation of over 5 million people along the East Coast. It brought catastrophic rain and flooding to Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, the Carolinas, and beyond. Just weeks later, Hurricane Milton reached Category 5 strength but downgraded to Category 3 before making landfall near Siesta Key, Florida, caused widespread damages and mass evacuations in Florida on October 9th, 2024. This caused all of our events to be canceled or postponed to later dates, causing us to have to rethink our entire project. Our team continues to have meetings throughout this time, and you'll see next is one of our first meetings after the hurricanes. So, alrighty. Well, This is a little bit of a different meeting now. Did not expect to be having this this meeting this year. I mean, obviously, hurricanes suck, but I guess we got to kind of start with the initial one. How is everyone doing? Is everybody okay? Any damage? Is everyone good?
All good.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm good. It's just like a lot of people that I know lost power. They lost all their food. So I just don't even want to think about like how the whole like USF, all these students that might not even have a lot of food to begin with, now they lost everything. I don't know, man. It just sucks.
Yeah, it's definitely been a very kind of interesting and trying time. I mean, I got to work frontline with my personal work to see a lot of the stuff, and just I thought Helene was bad, and then Milton was just add on top of everything. So, but with that being said, we got a project to pivot. This is a little interesting. So, I know I reached out to a couple people kind of privately just to kind of start turning the gears on what we can kind of do as a group. And I think Aidan might have actually touched on something there. Because I think that was something that we talked about, is trying to do something for students. Does anybody have any sort of ideas or anything that they came up with? I know I reached out a couple of days ago. Does anybody have any event ideas?
Yeah, we could definitely do like a Bulls Market type of food drive because I'm the president of one of the student organizations at USF. So we can definitely like promote it through the social media and then try to get as much food as possible that day.
And okay, so we could do a bull market. We'll definitely have to spin back around to that one. So I have another one that I'm gonna work on and see if we can do. It's in November, so we got a little bit of time, I say, but like about 2 weeks. It's November 16th. I'm gonna try to see if I can't get a table there that we can do a food drive there as well. But kind of I seem kind of from this point, is everybody in agreement that we do all donations to food instead of to feeding Tampa Bay this time to Feedable,
Definitely.
and kind of pivot towards that?
Yeah.
For
Cool.
sure. Do you guys think we should maybe set a goal for how much we want?
It's crazy because we were talking. I know we all talked kind of off camera. I think we were in like the 250 range to 300 for like the beginning because we were working larger events and stuff like that. I think honestly at this point, if we could hit 100 with just kind of short notice, I think that would still be pretty impressive.
I agree.
Does everyone?
Yeah.
Good number. Aidan, I remember we talked about this earlier. You had a contact inside Feeding Tampa Bay. Do you mind still reaching out to them and seeing about maybe potentially still setting up maybe like an interview or something that maybe you and another person can kind of jump on, just kind of ask them questions about kind of the whole United Nations kind of the proposal side of it, and just get some more information?
Yeah, definitely. I think because Feeding Tampa Bay has definitely been around a long time, and this probably isn't their first hurricane. So I definitely want to ask them sort of how the process works, and I definitely want to see how they feel the hurricane has affected things, because we can see it, but they definitely see a lot more. I want to get to know them a lot more.
Right. Yeah, you can reach out with them, and then if somebody wants to jump in with Aidan on that,
I can do it.
perfect. So that's the two people for that done, and then so we'll get those interviews, and then we'll have Valentina. While I think we'll be able to work it out. Maybe we can try to get a couple people from Bull Market, and since we're doing Feedable, I mean that's at the SVC building. We can work with students that walk through the SVC building and get interviews from students there. So that's definitely something that we can work on as well. So does anybody have anything else? I mean, I know we got not a lot of time, so any other crazy things? Anybody else got anything else? Cool.
I don't know, but I definitely think it's important we talk to students, because they're going to be the ones they're at the ground level for all this. We need to hear what they say, how things have impacted them for sure.
So we did end up doing the Bulls Market with the Latin American Student Association for USF. We got a lot of food for Feedable, And we also got the chance to speak with a lot of different students, and most of them were international students, so we got a little bit of a different perspective there. Most of them talked about their reliance on Feedable just because stores were not stocked. Most dining halls in the university were closed, and most of them don't even have a safe form of transportation after a big hurricane. So they relied a lot on Feedable since they had the proper food.
Hey, Aidan. Hey. Can you resend me the Feeding Tampa Bay one? For some reason, the email that I have from you, it's showing up as a transcript. It's not the actual meeting. That's why, like, if you just need to drop it into like a Google Drive or something, like, process it over and then send the link to it. We can do it that way. Or try sending it to me. But yeah, it sent like a VTT file or something, which is a voice transcript.
If I have trouble, I'll call you back, okay?
All right, 10-4. All right, see ya. For my event, I got the wonderful opportunity to do a food drive at a local event in my hometown community. During this time, I got to talk to 3 amazing people that talked about their experiences of working the front line during hurricanes and what it meant to them for food security versus food insecurity during hurricanes. Talking to all these people throughout, other than the interviews, was an amazing experience to talk to people how they were impacted by the hurricanes, how their homes were, how much food they lost, and what it would mean to them for food security to happen. With that being said, here are the 3 interviews.
You or any of your friends, were you guys ever impacted by either of these 2 hurricanes?
Yes, pretty much everybody I know that lives in Venice, Northport, and surrounding areas were all impacted. And at Habitat, we are helping people down in Inglewood that are currently displaced. Their homes were just about destroyed.
Right, absolutely. And going through all these hurricanes, did you ever see people's an order of importance, food almost falling on their order of importance?
I think food order of importance was just about tops. For us, we had my mother and my children with us, and with Ian, we were actually flooded in for 5 days. We just about ran out of food. So my husband and I ventured out through the floodwaters looking for food, and thankfully we found a food truck that was serving, and we were able to get about $60 worth of barbecue and bring it back to feed everybody for the next couple of days. But past that, we would have been in serious trouble.
And what would that importance be of having that knowledgeable, just 100% food security to you, that you know that no matter what, you're always going to have food? What did that mean in this time period?
It would be vital. I don't think we considered how quickly we would go through resources, and it was really fast with 5 people in the house. So to have something more stable and consistent would be vital for, I think, everybody in a hurricane impacted area.
Awesome. So obviously you went through 2 pretty big hurricanes around here. Were you yourself or any of your friends and family impacted by this hurricane?
I was not, but working for the chamber, I saw a lot of people impacted from this hurricane because many people lost their roofs, many people lost a lot of things, and we were a resource for food from United Way and other locations. So yes, our community, absolutely. Friends and family close to me, no, but our community, absolutely.
Right. And when you were working with a lot of these people, how many of them almost neglected the food and put the order of importance for food almost down, and they were worrying about other things?
Oh, many, because when you have to get a roof over your head and you have to find a place to live, it was very sad. And I know, again, being part of the chamber, Awakened Church, their numbers of people driving through tripled, if not quadrupled, of people needing food because it had gotten really bad.
And what would it mean to yourself and the people that you know to always know that no matter what's going on, that the food security that they're going to have is always going to be there, that there's no food shortages in their houses?
Oh my gosh, that would be phenomenal. I mean, we live where there are many hurricanes and many things. So knowing that there wasn't that nervousness of not having food would be amazing and phenomenal.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Finally, the last bit of this documentary you'll see is us talking to students about food security on campus. You'll watch as Nick and Zoe go through the process of talking to students on campus about feedable and other food-related topics. Thank you so much, and we hope you enjoy.
Okay, so I'm here with
David.
and today we're going to be talking about food insecurity at USF. I'm going to ask you a couple questions. What percentage of USF students are food insecure?
Like my guess,
Yeah.
college like 25%.
Okay. I want like 2 out of 5 students are food insecure, so kind of a lot. But what percentage of families with children in the public school system have experienced food insecurity?
In Florida or Tampa or everywhere?
In Florida, yeah.
Florida.
50%.
Okay, close. It was actually 71%. So also kind of a lot. Have you or anyone you know experienced food insecurity at any point?
Some friends when I was in like middle school. probably.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And do you know of any resources to help people who are food insecure?
I know there's the food bank here.
Mm-hmm.
My chemistry teacher told us about it, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just about to say. Do you know about Feedable at USF? Okay, so it's like a food bank, like you said, for students here. And did you know that they feed 250 students a week? Yeah, it's a lot. And our last question, how do you feel hunger affects students at our USF community in their personal life?
You can't study or do anything. I mean, when I don't eat, I can't study. So
Right.
I mean, if you have to worry about your next meal too, that's the only thing you can think about.
Exactly. Thank you. Okay, so I'm Zoe and I'm here with Cheyenne. Okay, before we start, do we have your permission to record this interview? Yes. Okay, perfect. So today we're gonna talk to you a little bit about like food insecurity at USF.
Okay.
Do you know what percentage of USF students are food insecure?
I don't, but I know it's a large number.
Okay, yeah. So 2 out of 5 students at USF struggle with food insecurity. What percentage of families with children in the public school system have experienced food insecurity? It's also a large one.
I also do not know.
Yeah, that's okay. 71%. So kind of a lot. Do you know anyone or have you experienced food insecurity at any point?
I do know many people that have, yes.
Yeah. And do you know of any resources that were able to help them?
I know obviously like when I was in high school they had like programs for them, just like we have here, like Feedable and stuff like that. So
That was my next question. Do you know about Feedable at USF?
I do.
Okay, awesome. And did you know that they feed 250 students a week?
I didn't know the exact number, but I knew it was a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
That's amazing.
Okay, last question. How do you feel hunger affects students at our community in their personal life?
I know it's like a really big issue. It can definitely, being in school, it definitely puts a strain on how well you're doing in classes. So it's definitely a big issue.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so
You're so
much.
welcome.
So I talked a lot with a lot of frontline workers after the hurricane, after Helene, after Milton, and you start to paint the bigger picture and you start to see a lot of the same stories. You hear a lot about people that just aren't lucky. You hear a lot about sustainability, where their houses are, where their food sources come from. They almost never had a chance. Talking with a lot of these people, it really shows how sometimes one thing can snap, and for a lot of people, they're gone, they're done. It's easy after the hurricanes to think to yourself, oh, I didn't lose power. Oh, I didn't lose my food. Okay, I'm good. I'll see what happens next year. And then you forget about it. You get into November, December, you forget about it. But a lot of these people, they really did lose so much. And for them, it's not over. They're still struggling. And that kind of made me really want to look at the source of the problem. And I assumed it was about sustainability. So I spoke with a wonderful woman from Feeding Tampa Bay. Her name was Shannon. And she works with the PR. So I got to see how she got the message out, how She works with people to keep people employed, keep people getting the message out so they know to donate food, get food. Learned a lot about how this organization has lasted for so long and how they've stayed doing true to their work. And we talked about sustainability, and I really liked what she said. She told me a lot about how uh, it's just not enough sometimes just having food pantries. You know, these people, what happens when there's no food for them to go to? So a lot of it is creating sustainable work, sustainable careers for people, sustainable places to keep putting in new food. You know, a lot of food deserts, a lot of these places, they have maybe one fast food place, and that's not enough, you know? So she told me a lot about the work they've done, and it's been really great. And it inspired me to make a social media for this project. So for anyone who's listening to this, we're called End Hunger USF, all one word, no underscores on Instagram. And I feel like a big part of the problem is people might be food insecure and they might not even want to admit it. I spoke to her about that too. And sometimes people have to look inside and realize that it's okay to ask for help. So that's a big part of what I think the message needs to be. There are plenty of resources out there. You just have to know where they are. And I feel like that's our duty to not only supply food, but also to show people that it's okay to go ask for it.
So we have a lot of people that need our help, our understanding. We have over 170 teammates that help do this, but we also have over 60,000 volunteers in our database. So we need about 4,500 volunteers per month to be able to do the work that we do. Did I answer all the questions I had you sent at me? I'm kind of like,
Oh yes,
I was
that
checking
Yeah.
boxes in my
perfectly
head.
that definitely explains how you guys how you operate. I didn't realize it was so large scale with so much collaboration.
I think it's really important, if you think about, the life you've lived, you've needed people to help you in many different ways. And that's how really all of us are. And how does it make you feel when you know somebody's there for you? Right? It gives you the strength to know, okay, maybe I do have this. Maybe this isn't so difficult. Maybe I don't need to stay home. Maybe I don't need to depend on other people. I can figure out a way. So really, it just, again, begins with food. And then we hope to take people on the pathways of stability and having that pride in yourself. We also have a workforce development program that I forgot to put in. We've done it for a number of years. We're relaunching in January, and we're really excited about that. What that is a stipend paid training program for people to find jobs in warehouse logistics, truck driving, box truck size for that, and then also culinary. So there's so many folks that we've helped train, get certifications, but also we've taught them soft skills, how to budget, how to work in within a culture, how important you are as a teammate, and how you treat people with dignity and respect. So all those folks, over 250 people, are now in the workplace and don't need any help from anyone as far as sustaining and taking care of themselves in their homes. So that's pretty incredible too, going into lifting our community, starting it with food, and really making an impact on Tampa Bay area.
So with that lens of sustainability, I'm curious because you did mention food deserts earlier. Can you just give us a brief understanding of what exactly they are and how they impact the cause for ending hunger?
So you can go into areas all throughout Tampa Bay, and we study those areas. So we have those over 400 agency partners. Those are people that we make sure have food, that it's been able to be provided safely. And what a food desert is an area or a community or a neighborhood that doesn't have access to healthy foods. They may have drive-through restaurants, which are okay sometimes. They may have a coffee shop, they may have a convenience store, but they don't have a grocery store where you're access to healthy proteins, fruits and vegetables, and really education on how to take care of yourself. So part of our mission is to get into those areas to make sure that people have access to that. And also, as I mentioned, we have a nutrition education program that goes into communities as well and tells people, the best way to diet for you, what a healthy diet looks like for you. Um, so it's really hard, especially in communities where transportation is an issue. If you don't have healthy food nearby, what is it that you do? You go to where you can get it. So that is a food desert, and that's how Feeding Tampa Bay and the amazing partners that we work with help address that.
Yeah, just one last thing I just want to ask, because we did touch on communication. What role, and you did touch on it already, but what role would you say that communication plays in this campaign against hunger in terms of motivating people, in terms of getting food, giving food, organizing? How would you say you use it in your everyday life?
It's pivotal, right? It's also education. It's also taking the stigma away, sharing those stories. So between amazing media partners from television, digital, print, um, we have media partners all over, but we also have our own social media platforms that very successfully communicate the need from if you need food from us, if you want to volunteer for us, if you want to help support our mission and what that means. We also have our own text platform. So if you're in our world and you need help from us, you can sign up for that platform and you get a text knowing when things are going on, when we have extra things. If we have something, sometimes we have something like tons of eggplant, y'all. There'll be eggplant everywhere. But the cool thing is we provide you with the recipes to be able to utilize that and taste new foods and the nutritional values that that brings to your table. So communicating in every way, shape, and form, considering the audience that you're talking to is important as well. And I would say it's so much, it's just about education. And we have to keep our foot solidly on the gas every day to make sure that we are in every space possible to make people aware, again, that food is available, help is available. You can help by volunteering or giving. And we're all just really in this together.
Yeah, thank you.